and Glenn, look lively. You're going to be late for school. Oh, and here's another looks as if he's had a late night. Ken, your eyes are like saucers.
Well, it's not the best night's sleep I've ever had, I must admit.
Ah, did this little monkey keep you awake? Did you do that?
I expect he's still teething, poor little man.
Can I have some aspirin, please?
Oh, while you're here, Ken, I've been meaning to ask you, is there anything particular that you and Denise would like as a wedding present? And I want to get you something special, and I know you're not the type to go in for lists.
Well, I wouldn't go splashing out, Rita. Not just now, if I were you.
Well, listen, it's only a few weeks away, to be honest, before we know where we are.
Look, Rita, I'm sure whatever you get will be marvellous, wonderful, in fact. Now, I must go.
I've got nothing against Maxine, I like her. It's just I think we see a bit too much of her. You know, three's a crowd and all that.
She's my mate.
So?
So? I feel sorry for her being on her own. Anyway, sometimes I feel I've got to have a chaperone with you around.
You're not getting all frumpy on me, are you?
No, I just think there's a time and a place, that's all.
Hey, how about 8:15 in the morning, the flat upstairs?
Oh, go to work, Tony.
Hey, why not? It's empty.
Yes, and it's locked.
Mortis or yeah?
Why, what difference does it make?
Well, if it's a yell, I'll have it open in 2 seconds with my cash card.
I hope I am not fraternising with a criminal.
You used to live with one.
Yes, and he got off.
Yeah, I wish I could.
Go to work.
All right, but promise me something. You'll ask Maxine to make herself scarce tonight. Shh. What?
Thought I heard something upstairs. Should be hearing things.
Anyway, so you'll ask her?
Who?
Maxine.
Yeah, I'll think about it. Yeah, go on. See you later.
No, it's something or nothing, a bug. I'm sure I'll be fit again by tomorrow. Yes, if you'd just pass that message on. Thank you. Bye. Little man, how are you doing, mate? Oh, there we go.
Morning, Ken. Hello, little man. How are you this morning, Nick? How are you? Can I take him? Oh, I'm not going to snatch him and run off if that's what you're thinking.
No, it wouldn't be the first time.
Ken, I don't want to go anywhere. I want to stay here with you in our home and our son. I know you probably find this hard to believe. I still want us to get married.
What's like complication, isn't there? There's a small matter of you sleeping with your brother-in-law. Sorry, it would be our brother-in-law, wouldn't it, if
Yes.
we tied them up?
I did a stupid and irresponsible thing, Ken. But when I realised what I was jeopardising, what I stood to lose, I ended it.
You know, that's something I still can't quite believe. To betray me, fine, I'm sure that came very easily. But to do a thing like this to your own sister, I mean, that is sick.
Yes, I know. I did a terrible thing. I'll regret it for the rest of my life, but the affair was over, Ken.
Actually, Denise, I'm not interested in when it finished. If it's finished, what I want to know is when it started. Well?
Not long ago,
Oh, come on, Denise, I've had all night to think about this. It started a long time ago, didn't it? When you ran away with Daniel to stay with Alison. Or even before that.
No.
I'm right, aren't I? I'm right.
Ken, shh, come on, here. Put Danny down here with me. Come on, just...
Well?
Yes.
And then when it went wrong, you thought, oh, well, let's go for plan B.
No, it wasn't
Let's
like
toss
that.
Ken a few little platitudes about making a go of it.
No,
You
no,
welcomed me with open arms.
I meant every word I said.
Yes, I'm sure you did at the time, but then you soon got bored, didn't you?
No, please. I was just trying to do the best thing.
And
for
one
the
day
three
you had
of
a
us.
brilliant idea. I know I'll have the best of both worlds. And in fact, you could have continued to have the best of both worlds indefinitely if Loverboy hadn't blurted out your sordid little secret.
No, it wasn't like that. Look, I ended it with Bram because I couldn't live with the deceit.
How moral. Whatever came over you?
What came over me, Ken, was I finally realised what I wanted. Not Brian, but you and Daniel. Yes, that's why I asked you to marry me. Oh, please, Ken, please believe me, just for Daniel's sake.
When did you ever do anything for Daniel's sake? When did you ever do anything but to satisfy your own selfish craving, bouncing around like a pinball from one relationship to another? You're not fit to be his mother.
No, please,
And I certainly
Ken.
don't want you as my wife. No, Denise, we can't pick up the pieces after this. You made a fool of me. You made a mockery of everything we had. And even if we have to go through a bitter and painful custody struggle, I'd rather go through that than spend another day under the same roof as you.
No life for our Maureen. Working in a shop 5 days and then travelling half across the country so she can deliver Captain Birdseye's clean washing.
Well, she's no choice, has she? Well, at least till she sells the shop.
Well, I can't see that happening in a hurry. We haven't even had anyone to view it since the Duckworths.
No, it's the same everywhere, I believe.
Still, the longer things go on as they are, the more chance there is of our Maureen getting fed up and finding herself susceptible to temptation.
Whatever do you mean?
Very attractive woman is my daughter. I know the bread man has a soft spot for her.
Here, see what's coming in the post? It's a bill from your solicitor friends. Huh?
1,175?
Yes, just for writing a couple of letters. Hmm?
Well, I didn't think it'd be that much.
Yeah, well, it's going to have to come out of Nicky's money, you know.
Nah, hang on a minute,
Hey,
Martin.
hang on now. Where are we going to find 1,200 quid?
Yeah, but if I were you, I'd go over the road and push that bill through Don's letterbox.
Oh, yeah, that's a brilliant idea, Roger. Why don't we just go and stir up that hornet's nest all over again, eh?
No, that's what they do in court cases, Martin. The losers play the winner's costs.
But there weren't any winners or losers because we didn't go to court.
Yeah, and why was that it? I mean, Gail were ready to. From what Don said when he took Al from me to London, he were definitely ready to. Then, all of a sudden, out of the blue, he wants to settle. Now, that is very suspicious. You must admit that, Martin.
Yeah, well, maybe he just got fed up with the old stupid situation.
Yeah, and maybe his solicitor told him that he hadn't got any hope of winning. So, you see, technically he's the loser, so he should pay the cost.
Audrey, you ever thought about taking on a job as a diplomat? Huh?
Oh, Martin, I am just trying to save you some money, sweetheart.
I hope you don't mind me coming round, but I'm at my wit's end.
Not at all. Come in.
Denise isn't here then?
No, she's not. I just made some tea. Would you like that?
Oh, please. I shouldn't be here. You've got enough on your plate without me.
No, not at all. No, it's all right. I'm glad you came.
Well, what it is, you see, Brian's gone. And I don't know where.
Do you care?
Of course I do. I've been worried out of my mind. We had a row, you see, yesterday morning, and he went off to work, and that's the last I've seen of him. I've rung the office, friends, police. Oh, I don't know. He's probably off sulking somewhere. It wouldn't be the first time. But on the other hand, what if he's lying in a ditch somewhere? That or lying in some woman's bed.
Hang on, let me get this straight. You haven't spoken to him since yesterday morning?
No.
So you don't know that he came round here yesterday afternoon?
He came here? Why? Why, Ken? Why?
When he likes me for my mind, you tell me so.
Yeah, and David Copperfield goes out with Claudia Schiffer so he can practice his magic tricks on her.
You are only jealous.
You're intimidating? I don't think so. Anyway, I've got a date tonight.
Who with?
Mike Palmer.
Not Marathon Mike from the sports centre who comes in here.
Yeah, he's taking me go-karting. And I might want to bring him back afterwards, so if you don't mind making yourself scarce.
I'm gonna have to draw up a route for this flat, you know, Maxine. That is the second time that I've heard something upstairs. I'm gonna go have a look.
Hello? Hello?
Hi. Oh, it's you. Oh, God, didn't know it was burglars. Max, it's all right. It's Denise. Is something wrong?
No, I'm fine. I just came up here for some peace and quiet. I hope I had a few letters to write.
Well, we're putting a brew on downstairs. Maxine's gonna go out for some cakes, so if you fancy joining us.
No, I'm fine. I'll see you later.
Right, should on to cake.
No, I'm all right, actually.
What's the matter?
Denise. Well, she says she's been writing letters, right? She's been crying. Hi, Alison.
Is Denise here?
Yeah, she's upstairs, but...
Right.
What's going on?
Denise! Denise! I've just been round to see Ken. And Brian didn't come home last night, you see. And tell me it's not true. Oh, my God! Oh, my God! Oh, don't touch me! Don't you touch me! How could you do it? I don't know. I wish I did. Wasn't it enough that you wrecked marriages of your own? Did you have to wreck mine? Can you bear to see anyone else happy? No. Can bear to see anyone else with something you didn't have yourself?
No, I tried not to let it happen, and when it did happen, I did try to stop it, but Brian...
Oh, Brian did all the running, eh? And you just couldn't resist. Don't give me that. I bet you loved every minute of it. You always did get a kick out of living dangerously. No. And all the while, watching me suffer. All the while pretending to be a shoulder for me to cry on.
I'm so sorry, Alison.
You betrayed me in a way I never believed possible. I don't ever want to see your face again. Do you hear? You know, at one point, I thought it was one of those pretty young girls downstairs that you were seeing. And that's why I spent so much time here. And then I've suspected every woman I know at one time or another. Every woman, except one.
Jurgen, master. What's that one it's at all?
That done is 9%. 120 a pint on offer.
Right, I'll give it a blast.
On it.
Jack, if you don't mind me saying, I think you've got your marketing strategy for this place wrong.
Well, what makes you say that then?
Well, I was reading an article in Business Week and it said the most successful inner-city pubs were the ones based on the European model.
Well, Jurgen Master Ale, that's German. What more do you want?
Yeah, but it's not just a case of having foreign beers in. It's the whole ambience of the place. You should go for the more Parisian approach. You know, get a big cappuccino machine in the corner, get newspapers hanging up by the door.
Well, I've got a Racing Chronicle under the bar here if you want to read. Now, if you want a coffee, I'll get Betty to put the kettle on for you.
I'll stick to red wine.
Yeah, suit yourself. 120, please, now.
There you go, mate.
Thank you.
Have a scout through these, get us half a lager while I nip to the lake.
It's a bit early at year for holiday brochures, isn't it? You get best bargains if you book at last minute.
I know, but this is last minute. We're going next week.
What?
2 minutes, I'm busting.
Hey, I was thinking, you know, Denise is sorted. Just ask her about that flatbed salad.
What about it?
Well, you know, if she'd borrow us from time to time as a little love nest.
I don't think that'd go down very well.
If you say so.
Oh, yeah, we can't have the flat to ourselves tonight. Maxine's already bagged it and she wants us to keep out of the way.
Great.
We need to talk, Denise.
I think that you've said more than enough already, Brian.
I've left Alison.
Yeah? Well, if you've any sense, you'll go straight back to her.
I'm never going back to her, Denise. I want to be with you.
Tough.
5 minutes. That's all I ask. A chance to say my piece. Then I'll leave.
But the company disagrees.
We targeted the 16 to 18 because we thought they were more responsible.
Oh, hello, Jamie. What can I do for you?
Can I have a word?
So what we do...
In private, if you don't mind.
Yeah, you better come in. So, what is it you want?
The government has taken drastic
This looks good.
curb the number
Don't suppose there's any going spare?
Sit down, I'll get you a plate.
campaigns highlighting both.
I'm sorry it all came out the way it did, but I had to say something. I couldn't stand back and watch you ruin your life.
Oh, if anyone's ruined my life, Brian, it's you. My life, Ken's life, Alison's life. I wish I'd never set eyes on you.
You don't mean that.
Yeah, I do, actually, I do.
But you and Ken would never have worked.
We were doing just fine, thank you very much.
So wonderfully you started having an affair with me.
Yes, a stupid affair. An affair that couldn't possibly go anywhere. That's why I ended it.
You ended it because you felt guilty. So guilty, in fact, that you rushed home and accepted a proposal of marriage from a man you don't love.
Don't come near to psychology with me, Brian. By the way, I proposed to Ken.
You don't love him, though. You never loved him. You tolerate him because he's Daniel's father.
Is that such a bad thing to do, to be responsible? To put other people before your own selfish impulses? All marriages are based on compromise. There's a barmaid over the road called Raquel. She married a bloke called Curly. I mean, it's not the romance of the century, you can tell, but they're doing just fine. He'll do anything for her. She likes him. It's a compromise, but it works, and I reckon it's got longer than any other marriage on this street.
I wouldn't give you and Ken 6 months.
Yes, well, that's all hypothetical now, thanks to you.
It's true, though. If you went back to Ken, if I went back to Alison, how long would it be before we find ourselves back here? 2 afternoons a week.
Oh, don't flatter yourself.
It happened before. It happened again.
Just go back to Alison and try and patch things up.
It's too late for me and Alison. It's too late for you and Ken.
I can't just keep running every time things go wrong. It's not right. And it's not fair on Danny.
But you and me are the only 2 people in all this mess who really belong together.
Oh, now you're the one being naive.
It's true, though. I couldn't have done this to Alison otherwise. I love you. And we belong together. Look, there's a client of mine got an empty house for rent. We could go there tonight if you like.
Hey, not so fast.
Hey, what's the alternative? You can't stay here. Look, Denise, I feel just as guilty about Alison and Ken as you do, but can't you see? That's why we have to try at least to salvage something from all of this. Otherwise, all of this pain will have been for nothing. Come with me.
So, what's all this about then?
News hasn't got round yet then.
What news?
About me mum getting arrested and put away.
What?
Yesterday afternoon, police come round to school and everything.
But what's she done?
She's been arrested for not paying a TV licence.
Hang on a minute, Jamie. Are you sure you're not making all this up? They don't put you in prison for not having a television licence. They just fine you.
Yeah, and then if you don't pay the fine, then they put you away.
Oh, this is terrible. How long has she been sentenced to?
A week, I think they said.
Oh, the poor woman.
Somewhat were bound to happen sooner or later. Any letters that just looked official should just chuck away in bin. Any road, I'm the one who's been dumped on a family of nutters in Oak Hill. Oak Hill, I ask you.
What are you talking about?
Well, I've been fostered for a week, haven't I?
Oh, I see. Oh, I suppose you would be.
Well, I hate it. They have you doing housework and all sorts. And tonight, when I got back from school, she wouldn't even let me watch telly. She calls it the one-eyed monster. She gave me a great big fat book to read instead. I hate books.
Sounds awful.
Any road, it would do in my head in. So I've run away, and here I am.
It's all right, Ken. I haven't come round to plead with you anymore. I've come round to tell you that I'm leaving.
With Brian.
Yeah.
So much for it being over.
It was. Oh, I don't know whether I'm doing the right thing. But there's nothing here for me. Not unless you can find it in your heart. No. So I have to at least try to make things work some other way.
And have you thought about how Daniel fits into these plans of yours?
Yes.
Look, you're not just picking him up like an overnight bag and walking through the door with him, Denise. That's not fair, and I won't let you do it.
No, I'm not taking him anywhere with me. You were right. I'm not a fit mother. I never will be. And I don't know if things are going to work out with Brian. They never have with anyone else. And if they don't and I end up moving on, it wouldn't be fair on Dan. I do know that people around here are going to say that I'm cruel and callous. I can give him love. I can give him all the love he needs. But I can't give him security. He's better off with you. I better pack a bag.
Look, Jamie, if it was up to me, I'd gladly let you stay, but it's not up to me.
No one has to find out.
That's not the point. Just think about your poor foster parents. They'll be worried sick.
They won't even have missed me.
But they will do, and when they do, social services will be straight round here looking for you.
In which case, you tell them you haven't seen me.
I am not telling lies. What do you take me for? You are going back to your foster parents. You might not like them, but they're responsible for you, not me.
Great, you know your friends are.
Oh, Jamie, it's not a question of that. Look, if I keep you here and somebody finds out, I'll be in more trouble than you are. What if something were to happen to you?
Like what?
Jamie, you are going back. It's only for a week. Besides, you might learn something in that big fat book of Mrs. Digby's.
Right then, I'll be off. Thanks for tea.
Well, hang on a minute. I'll get my coat. I'll come with you.
I meant what I said. I'm not going back, and if anyone tries to make me, I'll just run away again.
And where will you run to?
Back here.
In which case, you'll be marched straight back to the foster parents.
Well, I'll go to Manchester then. There's plenty of shop doorways to sleep in.
Don't be stupid, Jamie. You're not going to Manchester.
Well, I'll go to London then.
All right, hang on, hang on. I'll make a deal with you. I'll let you stop here tonight. But tomorrow, you are going straight back to the Digbys.
Ken? Will you take him from me, please? Take him. For a change of my mind.